Benzema, no. Stop it. No. Look at that. No. Stop. Why are you so aggressive? Wow. Calm down. You didn't think I... Get down. You don't need any more. You guys can hear me, sorry. They can hear us. You're not getting any more food, so. Yeah. Song always gets me so hype. Hey guys, welcome to another live show. I'm a little glitchy. Oh no, I'm back. Hey guys, welcome to another live show, another live She Knows Arsenal. Make sure you guys are liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and most importantly, getting into the chat and letting me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. We're going to be talking about that amazing performance against Real Madrid, our 3-0 cushion, all the nuts and bolts and X and O's and goals and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I guess just kind of getting into the Champions League in general. I do want to talk to you guys, just have like a general. Diluted is coming. I think he's just taking a minute. Actually, let me see. Yeah, I think he's going to come in a second. But the game in general and the Champions League in general, I think served up some really, really good games in this round. To everybody that's always complaining about this is not good enough, this is not good enough, oh my god, this is so boring. Surely you were not bored with PSG's game against Aston Villa. Barcelona were really good against Dortmund. Our game against Real Madrid, and then Inter and Bayern was also a very good game. So there are a lot of, like, all the teams that are left are really, really good and really formidable. And I'm so happy that we're a part of it, and that we didn't show our asses. We actually went out there and played really well, you know. So I'm excited to hopefully move forward, and it looks like it could potentially be PSG. And if there was one team that I felt like I'd be really excited to watch us play against, it might be them. I know that we played against them earlier on in the season, but they look way different than they did in the beginning. And so I'd like to test our defense up against those individual X Factor monsters in Desiree Doué and Kvaratskhelia and Ousmane Dembele. That midfield of João Neves and Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz. Like, I want to see that, you know? So I'm hoping that what's already happening looks like it's going to finish that way, that us and PSG will be in that next round, and we can test ourselves up against a team that will hopefully open up. It'll be interesting to see maybe Arteta up against Luis Enrique, and see how we do, because they'll know us then. They'll know what we're trying to do. They will have had practice in the earlier round, you know, so in the league part of the season. So it'll be interesting. But watching them against Aston Villa, and make no mistake about it, they dominated Aston Villa. It really wasn't close, in my opinion. He's here, but oh, there you go. I didn't see your cam, so I just was talking.
No, oh shit.
But yeah, I was just talking about that PSG Aston Villa game. It was just, they dominated PSG. Like, PSG dominated Aston Villa. They were really, really, really good. Do you think that PSG are going to be the team that comes out of that? Do you think Aston Villa can turn it around? What do you think?
I mean, you never know. Weirder things have happened, as we'll probably get into with our football club. So potentially, I was listening to what you're saying about Paris Saint-Germain, and I'm sure we'll get onto it. But against Liverpool, especially at their place, against Liverpool and against Villa, they dominated the games, but they conceded first. So should be interesting. But I actually want to play Aston Villa, if I'm honest with you.
Why?
Emery.
Are
I
you
know.
okay?
I know we can talk here tactically, and I think you made some good points, especially about the spectacle of PSG. But it'll just be romantic that if we get through Real Madrid, you know, because some pessimistic Arsenal fans were saying if we get past Real Madrid, we're going to lose to Villa anyways, and we all know the Emery comments. And I know Emery's got no bad
I'm a
blood.
part of that group.
Huh?
I'm a part of that group.
I'm not. It just is what it is. I just remember the Villarreal game when Arteta went out. It just, for me, it'd just be my sort of romance to see us beat Villa, and then hopefully you win the final, innit? I want Villa.
If
But then I
that's
said I wanted
your
Atletico Madrid,
version,
and we got Real, so I'll leave it to you lot, man.
if that's your version of romance,
Yeah,
that
man.
ain't good. That ain't good. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm so sorry, but there's just no world in which I want to play anybody that's going to employ a mid to low block against us. So
Bring on anyone, man. Bring on anyone. They're all difficult in their own way. If there was one team I'd really, really want to avoid, I think it's Inter Milan. But then again, we have played them. But
Inter,
bring
you
it
must
on.
avoid at all costs. I don't think we'll play well up again. I think Inter are very, like, underrated. I think you said that too, that they're underrated, and their win against Bayern away, that was a solid win. I know Bayern missed chances, but that's how it goes in the Champions League. You ride your luck, and
Did you see the first goal?
Yeah, the first goal was sick, and then the response to Bayern's goal was disgusting. So to me, I'm not trying to play Inter. They have experience in a final against the City, so they'll have some sort of inkling on what to do. They've already played us once and beat us, and it was a really stinky game from us, if I'm honest. I don't think we've played well against Italian sides. So from my perspective, nah, no.
Of recent.
Recent.
Yeah, to be fair to Atalanta as well. Yeah.
I'm not particularly looking forward to that, but every team has its things, but PSG feel like, I don't know, they're top 2 with Barcelona on any
Such a
given
good team
day.
to watch.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They can be more direct. They can do the slow build up. They can do so many different things. They have a lot of athletes, but they also have a lot of technical quality. That would be a great game to watch.
And they're more of a team now.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time you've seen a team lose a world-class player, best in the world type, Mbappe type, and get better? You
Because
know?
you're right, man. But it sounds mad. I would have rather played them with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. It sounds mad. And yeah, star quality, they could win the game. But
Yeah.
is that front three going to work hard? They're still stars, but for all of Dembele's quality, you still see him busting his ass pulls to work hard for the team. You see it with Kvaratskhelia. You see it with the fullbacks. It's a very good game of football, man. I think these 2 game weeks in the Champions League have been quite good. And football in general, I wouldn't say is necessarily entertaining, man.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you guys are liking the video, subscribing to the channel. Did you get a chance to watch Barcelona yesterday?
Yeah. I mean,
What'd you think?
it's on brand with Barcelona, Jess, man. Like they've got clinical players.
That's
Hansi Flick has got
crazy.
them running. Scary side, man. All of these teams in the champs still are scary. Hopefully, including us after what we did in the first leg.
Exactly. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting in the second leg. We've set ourselves up incredibly well, where I kind of think like, you know, it's impossible. It feels impossible for us not to go to the next round. But if there was any team that could turn it around, it's probably Real Madrid. The rivals will tell you that they just didn't play well, but I think Arteta's tactics, along with our performance and some of the upgrades in certain positions, made it really difficult for them. You know, if they go up against our defense from 2022, 2023, I think they score a couple of goals, but not now. So it was a really, really good performance. I guess what would be your top like things that went unnoticed that I noticed type of things, you know, like are things that went under the radar that you think were the difference makers in the game against Real Madrid? Not the Declan Rice free kicks. We know it was that, but like what do you think kind of flew under the radar?
For me, if there was one thing that maybe I'm reading too much into it, if you go and look at how our players are positioned or standing next to the PSG wall and stuff like that, you that was it for me, because I just wondered, did they kind of blindside Courtois? He's having a great game. I think Saka had to play a different kind of game, if that makes sense to you. Just like, obviously the intangibles are still there. He's going inside, he's going down the flanks, he's cooking people. We know that with Saka, but for me, it was more of a, I'm still easy. I am fully fit, but I still think he's getting there, and I think he kind of picked his moments when to pass, when to kind of dribble. He seemed a bit more street smart with when he was looking to kind of do that, taking on his man kind of thing. And I mean, you can't really say it's unnoticed, but the transitions from Real Madrid, like we gave the ball away a couple of times and they moved it quicker. I would also say, I can't say it goes under the radar because we scored 3 goals and 2 screamers, but Saka should have 2 assists minimum in that game. We had a lot of clear-cut chances, man. And I do like the chess match that Real Madrid Arsenal was. Like, it was an entertaining game. In many ways, it wasn't end-to-end, but it was end-to-end. You know, Lewis Skelly inverting, kind of going against on the other side where you got Bellingham being quite narrow. I wouldn't say those were unnoticed. I think Tierney's little couple minutes were decent. But everything, I don't think anything can go unnoticed in the game like that, just because of the 2 teams and the scoreline.
Yeah, 100%. It's everything
Or how
was
nervous they looked at the beginning.
huh?
And how nervous I think Madrid looked. Once I got past the glitz and glamour of Real Madrid, they looked a bit more nervous, maybe because their season is not really being good. And Bellingham
There's
said after the
pressure.
game, exactly, yeah. So it's like they're kind of feeling sorry for themselves a bit more. Like it sounds mad, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but once I got past the glitz and glamour of Real Madrid and the fantastic Emirates atmosphere, and okay, it's a game of football, I was like, expecting a bit more from you lot. Like, you lot are kind of bringing your problems throughout the season into this game, which was good for us. But yeah, man.
I think for them, they needed something to happen for them early. I think in the first,
Yeah, man, Mbappe
when we were
chances.
making those mistakes or an early pen or something like that to go their way. But I think I think us on paper versus what we're like playing against are 2 completely different things. I think you'd look at our team and think, but when we're on it and you're playing up against a defense that's it's nothing fun to play against. We're not fun to play against. And I think we just didn't leave them that much. And they were going to have to be perfect to score them goals. And they just didn't have it. They really, really didn't. Those early kind of like forays into the front, they were just shooting over the goal and being all wild. And I was like, damn, they look shook. Like you said, they did look kind of shook. And I want to thank like also the Emirates atmosphere, because I can tell from the TV whether or not it's rocking. It was rocking in there. It wasn't quiet. It was, I wouldn't say it was intimidating, but it wasn't quiet like it usually is. So I think that helped us out quite a bit. First 20 minutes, I know people want me to like own up to the Kivior hate, and I will, because Kivior, I was really nervous.
Wait, you?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I mean, I was very honest. I did not want him to play in that, because the reality is, as much as I like Kivior, I think he's flattered to deceive in big moments. I really do. I think he's nervous, and I think he was very nervous at the beginning, and so much so that he made two pretty big mistakes, I thought. You know, the straight ball across the back line and then the whiffing the ball in the first minute of the game. I was nervous for him, but he didn't make it his whole personality. And so I think he deserves a lot of credit, you know, for that game. It'll be a much different prospect going to the Bernabeu, though. You know, we were kind of in the comfort of our own home. You know, it wasn't really like toxic, you know, in there or whatever. So, but I think he did really, really well, and the defense did really well for sure. Let's talk a little bit about Saliba too. Like, not unnoticed, but definitely not the star of the show in terms of like what people are talking about. How well did he do in the absence of Gabriel?
Superb. You know, we got an iconic picture with Saliba and Mbappe. Superb. We was all looking for Saliba to, you know, be the difference maker, like the leader of that defense. Saliba did very well. He did his usual defending to a great standard. He led. He defended so much so that I'm sure he even blocked technically one of our headers going for goal or something. But Saliba stood up tall, man. He had a nervy moment. Like, to be fair, shout out to Kivior. I think a number of players. I mean, Saka was amazing, but let's be real. He had a straight pass. Kivior had a couple. Partey was good. I'm sure him and Rice had some. So maybe that was either overexcitement or a bit of nerves, but they managed themselves through it. And fortunately, none of it proved fatal. But shout out Saliba, because you're looking for him to have a great game. And if we're honest with ourselves, as good as Saliba has been in the last few years, if you really were to micromanage it generally, some of his more down performances or his more kind of fitting in performances probably have been in the Champions League, if I'm completely honest with you. So yeah, he stood up tall. He's doing what he needs to do. He needs to sign that contract, man. But I'll give him that deal, man.
Absolutely. That's going to be the hard work for Berta this summer, is getting 3 of our top players like on new deals. The easier ones will be the Mazuaskelly and the Ethans, but you need to be able to get those top dogs on bigger contracts. So we'll see how he deals with that. I think our fullback pairing right now is the best. I said what I said. Like, I just, maybe Hakimi and Nuno Mensch, maybe then are up there with us. But I really, Nuno Mensch.
Oh, Mendes. Fair enough. Accents in that. Okay. Okay, reporter. Okay,
Nuno Mendes. Sorry.
No, if that's the right way to say it, that's the right way to. I didn't know you spoke Portuguese. Okay.
I don't, but I try to pronounce it. I try, even though I fail a lot. But besides those two,
how do you say Fabio Vieira?
It's just Fabio Vieira.
Oh.
But besides those two, our fullback pairing is fucking formidable. Talk to me a little bit about those two performances and how special they were, because I think both Timber and Mazuaskelly in different ways almost announced themselves a little bit like we're not to be played with.
What can you say that I'm sure I haven't said already, either when you was on the stream with me or both of us at our own accords? You know, I'll start with Timber. Amazing, especially with what you're doing with your post ACL, the confidence we can have with you in the bigger games against some of the top dons. Both of them have this thing where they're just ready to handle business. They understand the severity of the situation and why you need to stand up tall. Obviously, more so Jurien Timber. He's clearly great, very, very good defensively, 1v1. Lewis Kelly's still learning that, but then for Lewis Kelly, the confidence to, you know, do your inverted role, not hide. You're seeing a man in a quarterfinals against Real Madrid off the back of being a Premier League footballer for 8 months. consistently asking for the ball, getting angry in a positive way at his teammates. Of course, he got an assist, and the movie of this season continues, but they're sick, Jesse. He understands what he needs to be doing on the left-hand side. He allows Rice to stay further up. Obviously, it's reactionary, but you do wonder, you know, for as good as Calafiori is and maybe being a defender, he came in to be a left-back, at least in the short term. We had the better option there, and it's amazing. You have a fit Ben White. You have Timber and Lewis Skelly doing what they're doing, and the others, and we've got some real good depth there. The problem is, and I'm sure we'll speak about it at some point, is some players might have the ability, but they're not reliable, man. But you need our defense kept a clean sheet. Yeah, Real Madrid weren't at their best, but everybody knows that is a game you have to be on point. And again, like they said, with Real Madrid having injuries, we've got injuries. There's no Magalhaes. Timber's probably feeling a lot of issues with his ACL, and he's done well. So yeah, Jess, man, the fullbacks. Proud to have both of you lot here, and we prayed for times like this. We're waffling about the fullbacks. We've got Saliba, we've got Gabriel Magalhaes, we've got there's some things to be positive about, man.
Yeah, I think freaking I'm in dreamland when it comes to our fullback pairing, because they're just so reliable. They're so reliable. And there were times where we just didn't have that. Like, we just knew they were going to get cooked. And I'm talking about like Ben White and Zinchenko. I'm talking
There to be times the whole back five, we knew it's a write-off in games.
100%. So like, I'm in freaking dreamland for sure. Somebody was saying that Timber announced himself months and months and months ago, and I feel like he did to us, but there's always like a resistance with people outside of Arsenal to accept that Arsenal players might be the best.
All might be good.
Yeah, it's just the truth. And I think you cannot deny Timber's performance. I think you know what I mean? I feel very comfortable saying he's been the best right back in the league this season. Like, he just has been. I get historically Trent and Reece have been battling it out and duking it out, but I don't see anybody that's been as consistent as him at a high level. So I would choose him any day of the week. And Miles Lewis Skelly, he's just a bananas of a player. Like, he's just not. He's fake. Like, he's what?
Shout Halen.
What? Like, this, what is this? You know, and I think his confidence is his best attribute, is the fact that he's not afraid to get the ball. You know, Camavinga standing right there, Jude Bellingham is standing right there. He's like, give me the ball. I was so impressed by his performance. I mean, he's nutmegging people. And I think one of his underrated qualities, he wins a lot of free kicks for us.
His body manipulation on the ball is very good. His ability to draw fouls, his way to protect the ball is very good. He knows when to take one touch, two touch. We saw it against Real Madrid, but we more saw it against Everton, that drive and run. He's got a lot of ingredients to be a really good player, whether he's going to end up in central midfield or at left back. And again, you can have this, you can have the technical level and stuff, but it's the mentality. Obviously, with us playing Real Madrid, but the manager can believe in you and believe in you. You've got to go out there and do the business. You've got to believe. And we've seen the Ian Wright interviews when he's saying, you know, I don't fear anyone. I relish being outside my comfort zone. And he's showing it. And I think that could be extended to a lot of players at our club. Shout out to Lewis Skelly, man.
Absolutely. Let's see.
What? Big up Don. Is this the Chelsea fan, Don? Like, did he really put Cucurella over Lewis Skelly?
Yeah, he did. So then on the show earlier,
done, you're my guy, but you're tweaking. Tweaking.
It was an insane freaking show, because Don had been talking so much shit last week about how Caicedo was like so much better than Declan. And I was like, I stand 10 toes down that as good as their midfield looks on paper, I know even on our worst day, my midfield is better.
We're a better functioning unit than those, for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care like what Enzo Fernandez does for Argentina. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care. My team does the business when it matters. Like, I know we haven't won anything, but like when it matters, when we actually have to do it, we do it. And Declan had the fabulous performance against the best team in the world. I ain't seen Caicedo playing against Wi-Fi codes right now.
There's more.
Like, what are you talking about? He's going to Warsaw.
There's more legs to the Declan Rice Caicedo thing. I'd more open to hearing that, but it's criminal for Cucurella over.
He was like, Cucurella's had a better season. I'm like,
in 2025.
I think MLS's half season has been more talked about than Cucurella's full season. Nobody just because your players are good for you doesn't mean they're better than other people's players. You see
Lewis
what I'm
Kelly at
saying?
18
Yeah,
scored
like
against City, scored on his debut, bossed it against Madrid. Yeah, he's had some little isms and schisms he could do better, but benched and international footballer who just signed for this football club. Come on now, come
yeah,
on now,
I
come on.
MLS is if MLS was fucking Spanish and he was doing that for
Oh
Barcelona,
Lord, the
they
gas
would
he would
say
have.
different things. Like it's you know what it is, you know. Is it the underbelly? I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
definitely is.
But Terrence says Timber is the greatest right back Arsenal ever had. Do you agree with that?
Listen, keep working very hard, Timber, man. If that's a conversation some Arsenal fans are saying, that's great. It's like Lewis Skelly. People have done the Ashley Cole comparisons. Keep working hard. Keep working hard, and we'll have that conversation one day. I don't know about that yet, though.
Fair enough.
That's crazy.
JG says, "Yay! Just joined another Justin Diluted live. Thank you so much for being here. I really
One
appreciate
love.
it." But yeah, I don't want to say too much about it. Like I just know he's been the best in the league this season. And I feel like MLS's half season has been very, very, very impressive. So super happy to have those two. Kivior played really well. Saliba stood up. Raya had a very good game as well. Midfield, everybody's asking me about Partey. I've said it on maybe probably 3 streams now, but I'll say it again for people
Bossed
that
it.
need to hear it. That was his best performance, in my opinion, in an Arsenal shirt, or one of definitely top 3. That looked like Partey from 2022,
Looks like the
2023.
party that if he was to watch compilations on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And so, as much as people think I hate him, I have my reasons, but I would never shade him with a performance like that. He looked levels above Modric, and besides Camavinga's first half, I thought he really just absolutely bossed it. So well done him. I mean, he knows the competition well. He's played in Spain. He played in Spain for a long time, and I just sometimes I feel like Partey does well in the Premier League, but sometimes I think the European games suit him really, really well because he can dip the shoulder and get on the half turn and stuff where he doesn't do as much in the Premier League. I thought he was really, really good. Like probably not going to be spoken about as much as everyone else, but I thought he was really, really good. Words for Partey?
Partey was quality, man. I think him and Rice stood up tall. Obviously, when Rice has scored not 1 but 2 screamers, he's going to get the headlines. But as you said it, like Thomas Partey stood up tall. He's one of our more experienced players. I'm sure his ex-Atletico Madrid people would have been happy about that, and probably Berta. Wait, I just clocked. Berta was at Atletico Madrid 12 years, so he would have been at Atletico Madrid maybe potentially when we signed Partey, innit?
Yeah, of
So it
course.
probably gave him a bit more of a spring in his step.
Yeah.
And it makes you ask the question, Jess, man, with how Partey's playing, it's like, do you give the man a new deal? Like he's quality when he on his day, man. I think he's been good this season in a good way, man. But it's like we needed to have seen this on a more consistent basis during his time at Arsenal. But he bossed Real Madrid. Him and Rice bossed Real Madrid. I know Odegaard we're gonna get onto. I don't think he was at these lots level, but you need your midfield against in what Mikel Arteta does with Lewis Skelly doing what he's doing and Rice in midfield and Partey. If our midfield doesn't turn up and obviously Merino dropping in, we're in trouble. And against Real Madrid, you're going to have to work 10 times harder. So he gets his flowers for that game, man. Did you think?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I totally agree. And I think that with Berta coming in, you know, I saw it on the timeline going around that some players are maybe lifting their games because maybe they, you know, want to change the narrative around whether or not they should be here or not. We'll see what happens in the summer. You know, maybe Berta changes the club's mind about Partey at this stage, at this present moment. It looks like he's going to be leaving on free. So we'll see what happens. But in regards to that particular game, I think he was really, really, really good. Like even when he made like the little bobble, he won it back. And I respect that because you're not always going to be perfect, but you need to get on your horse and fix it, you know, and he did that. Duke said, "This is the problem with you Arsenal fans. Mad face. MLS has had a good run, and Rice had one excellent Champions League game. You don't win trophies for these events." Duke, take a chill pill. You know, relax, calma. We're having a discussion amongst Arsenal fans about a game that just happened 2 days ago, and your panties are in a twist
But
because
what was said
we're
about Lewis
talking about
Kelly?
the good performances. We haven't said that MLS should win a Ballon d'Or. I haven't said Declan Rice deserves, you know, key to the city. I haven't said anything. I just said And I stand on it. MLS's half season has been more impressive than anything Cucurella has done this season. Nobody's talking about Cucurella. Everybody's talking about MLS. He's clear of Cucurella. Sorry. And Timber, best right back in the league. Stand on it. To me, Rice is better than Caicedo. Sorry. I don't argue with your wall. And when our midfield needs to do something, like whenever we play against Chelsea, Chelsea's midfield never stands up and does anything. All they do is whine and foul and cry, and we usually walk away with the points. So I'm not sure why you're upset. I'm really not. Like, we're having a discussion amongst Arsenal fans about a game in which we beat Real Madrid, and you guys are upset. Why are you rattled?
She was on the other foot and we got battered 3-0. You know, Lewis Skelly be the first one to get drawn out, Declan Rice second. I don't know why we can't just be proud of ourselves in isolation for defeating Real Madrid and hope to do the same thing and get over the line next week. Like, I don't know. If anything, I don't agree with rejecting the timber shout about best performing fullback in the league. But if anything, you should be vexed about that, because I don't know what's wrong with Lewis Skelly, like what he's done. And I definitely don't know for Rice, because Rice isn't a new entity. Of course, announced himself to the Champions League, scored 2 screamers, but he's been a household name, and he's been recognized as one of the best in the world in his position, quote unquote, for a while now. So fair enough, lad, man. Fair enough, man. Everyone's allowed an opinion, I guess. Fair enough, dude.
You're rattled. Johnny says, for me, the best right back Arsenal ever had was a Bowie. Till Wenger ruined him by putting him in midfield. Moment just coincided with Arsenal's drop from the title contender to top 4. I like Abui. That was a funny guy, but he's not even really in the conversation for me.
Yeah, that's a madness. I can't lie.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
Shout out Abui, but yeah, sorry about that.
Anchor says, I still can't believe that game happened. Couldn't believe what I was watching. Johnny says, Skelly was better than Timber this game for me. You know what? I don't really care. I think, they can go bar for bar kind of thing. It's just that's an opinion. I don't really have like a favorite that performed better. I just think they both were really, really good. I think
everyone stood up to be counted, man.
Yeah. I think what MLS maybe had on Timber is that Timber's performance was more of like, he was like a headbanger. Like, he was just running around, knocking people out, winning the ball back, being aggressive, running up the pitch. Where MLS, he embarrasses people. He nutmegs people. He does a lot of, he's good too in a different way. So, yeah, I can't choose.
Got both of them.
Toan says it's a jealous thing. I mean, it's like, just relax, Caicedo gets away with kicking people. I mean, he just basically just like runs around and kicks. I think Caicedo is a good player, by the way, but like, come on. I'm not trying to hear that. Sanya was better than Abui. I agree with that. And Toan says MLS has that incisive pass. And so, yeah, for sure. Make sure you guys are liking the video, subscribing to the channel. Let's move to the goals, the 2 free kicks. I've never seen anything like it, honestly. In my millions of years of watching football, I've never seen anything like it. 2 free kicks against Thibaut Courtois in a high pressure moment.
In front of Roberto Carlos against his former team.
Yeah, and that's fucking insane. Like, the whole world is watching and you do it twice back to back. Wow. I mean, I said this on your stream, and I'll say it again. I feel like the most disrespectful thing I've heard about Declan Rice is that he's the same level of talent as Amadou Onana. And that's not to shade Onana, because I think
you hate Onana. You keep drawing him out.
He's a good player, but that in itself to me is just like, Onana's never going to hit the ball top bins against Real Madrid like that twice. Like, he doesn't have it. He's a good player, but reducing Rice to some sort of destroyer, non-technical player, I think is disingenuous when you actually watch him. I don't know how any Arsenal fan comes to that conclusion. I know how rivals come to that conclusion, but not Arsenal fans. It's wild to me. I think Rice not really announced himself, but he created core memories for a lot of Arsenal fans. We have core memories from like when we were younger, things that we remember, Henri's goals, blah, 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 different things, winning it at Old Trafford, winning it here, winning it there. That's a core memory for a lot of Arsenal fans. A lot of young Arsenal fans are going to think about
a few of them, but that's the pinnacle.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. Did that Did that moment change your opinion at all on what Declan Rice's standing is in world football in terms of the best of the best of?
No, we all know he's an established well, the whole 6'8" thing is a debate, but if we just say he's a 6, we know he's world class. We've seen him playing finals for West Ham, for England. We've seen him do that kind of different circumstances. You know, there's no bigger circumstance than scoring not one but 2 free kicks in a game of that magnitude. Declan Rice, if you've always had that in your locker, don't know why we haven't seen that on a more consistent basis. But we've seen 2 bangers against Man United, or a dramatic goal against Man United, a thumping finish against Man United this season. Obviously, he done that against Chelsea. He scored an absolute slapper and cracker of a goal against his first team in West Ham. So we know he's that talisman figure. And I'm happy for him because he seems like a fan. Like, it's one of them. Like, that's kind of Declan Rice's gameplay. It's like, I'm not captain, but I'm Captain Fantastic. I'm the Superman and whatnot. It did make me look and think, I think every Arsenal fan's accepted you're an 8. You are becoming a more complete version of yourself. Like, you're adding goals, you're adding assists and whatnot. And it made me a lot more comfortable. And that's what you want to see. Now, I'm not expecting Rice to score 2 free kicks or a free kick a game, but it just further confirmed what we know from Declan Rice. I think, if anything, it goes back to what you're saying, in that people like to downplay Rice. And had he have got rings run around him in that game, you said, "Would you spend 100 million for?" Blah blah blah. There was a lot of negative stuff spoken about Rice first half of the season. So as long as you announce yourself and whatever you have to say, you've made a difference in a game like that, what can they say? And then obviously you scored 2 crackers. That's going to be remembered. Everyone's going to remember that Declan Rice goals. But he had a good performance. If you take away his performance, him and Partey, the goals, him and Partey were superb. So, yeah, man, it's just confirming us what we know. That's what you spend 105 million for. And Rice doesn't like to talk too much, but when he talks about the club and everything,
he doesn't like to talk
like
too much. Do you know Declan Rice? He's a yapper.
No, I said he likes to.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a yapper.
No, Rice likes to chat bare, man. But when you're doing the business, who cares? Like, it just feels like Rice has been here. It does feels like Rice is just Mr. I'm going to be very wary because there's only one Mr. Arsenal, but it feels like he's Mr. Arsenal. Respectfully to West Ham, it feels like he's always been here. He just gets it. Like, shout out Declan Rice. We've got so many problems. Declan Rice ain't one of them.
Exactly. Burmy says Rice has been a game changer for Arsenal, and his goal simply cemented him as world class. I feel like the biggest difference between who we were pre-Declan Rice and who we are now is that in big games, we do get results. It wasn't until he got here that we started to beat Manchester City and get actual results against them. I don't think that that's just because. I think he just adds a sense of seriousness to the group that we didn't really have. And he can come up with those big moments like Burmy is saying. I mean, he has it factor. I don't know. It's intangible. You know it when you see it. What he lacks in aesthetics or perceived technical quality, in my opinion, is made up tenfold by the fact that he just does the business.
You just rely on him, man.
Yeah, that cannot be understated, because there's a lot of really good technical players out there that just don't do the business. So yeah, I love Declan, and those 2 free kicks were fucking wild. And I mean, you were in the Talk Sports studio, right? What were you doing when those goals hit the back of the net? Did you show your ass?
taking it all in, man. Pause. Like, the second one is the one I thought, wow, like, because I think I made a small little joke. I was like, he's not going to hit that again. Before that sentence has been finished, he smashed it in, and it was a lot to take in that game, man. A lot was happening around me. A lot was happening in the game. I was doing the maths, like. It's probably the best goal at the Emirates scored in Europe from an Arsenal perspective. Unpopular opinion, I don't want to do that, but I don't think it's the best free kick I've seen in the Champions League scored at the Emirates. But it's just a lot was happening, man. A lot was happening. Shout out to Rice, because that's a good memory. But whether it's just going to be a good night and one of those memories to go with the Bayern, look at this guy, with the Bayerns and the Barcas, or if it's going to be something that kickstart something, who knows, man. Declan twice is what we're calling him now. It's quality, man.
Absolutely. Says, I love Dec's openness in interviews, telling us the chat in the huddle before the first goal over, Arteta, Odegaard telling him to cross, and Bukayo telling him to trust his feelings. Beautiful. Jordan says Rice busts Odegaard's files. He said Odegaard told me to chip it. He also said that Tierney had to play left wing and he's looking forward to January signings. Rice, not a PR thing. Terrence says best free kick taker in the world was Juninho, by the way. Terrence says Beckham's. or Deckhams. I actually like that name. I think the thing I like about Declan so much is he feels like a throwback.
Yeah.
Some of like my favorite genres of midfielders or players are like the David Beckhams or like Steven Gerrard. I love players like that. They're not really super flashy, but they just do shit, and I just like that, and he does those things, and it's not always about, oh my gosh, can he pass between the lines here and there? Like
What's his body
sometimes,
positioning like?
yeah, sometimes you just need to exactly like Tawan said, a traditional player. Traditional player, I like it. Johnny says, I was disappointed by DG. I wanted that dog, those muscles, and screams out. Instead, I got gentleman in a suit.
You're a madman.
Boring. I can't believe never again. Is that what you did?
I don't even remember my reaction. I think he's chatting a bit, but huh?
I said you wanted to be professional.
I'm professional, man. I'm professional as they come, man. I don't know where this taking off shirt agenda came from. I think I did it like
You know
twice.
where it came from, because you did that.
I did it twice, and it's just followed me ever since. Man. Sometimes I get trolls, and they're like, "Why are you not taking off your shirt now?" I'm like, "For fuck's sake, man!" Just a natural reaction. Like,
oh my god,
Real Madrid away if we do it for the culture, I'd be.
I love it, but yeah, those are like, I mean, Mbappe and Jude Bellingham's reaction to the goals was all of us was just like, wow, I just can't believe it. And for everybody that was in the stadium to witness it, I'm so jealous of you, because that was just insane. And it just seemed like a really, really good night. The influence of Bukayo Saka can't be understated, though. He just makes us look completely different. He cooked in a game where there was Mbappe and Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo. There's a lot of people saying Rodrigo is better than Saka before the game started. He was the best by far. He actually performed. He performed, and you don't always need GA to show that you had a really good performance.
He won the 2 free kicks, though.
Yeah, he won the 2 free kicks, and he should have gotten at least 1 assist from the balls that he was putting across the 6 in the first half. He just cooked, and
he's not aesthetically pleasing. Not bad for a left back, as the haters would say. Saka doesn't move me.
Yeah, he's not. I'm not surprised ever really by Saka's performances. I just feel like people that hated on him for so long are more surprised, because they're just like, oh, he actually is good. Yeah, he's been good. Saka's been good for a long time. This is not new shit. I just think we're seeing.
Well, we can't see ratings from the pagans, man. Like you can, it's got to the point with Saka, he's quality. Like he's absolutely mustard. He's him now.
He is. He carries
I've been him.
I would say an okay attack. He's like the main person. He makes things happen. He scores goals. He gets assists. He's great in, on the corners as well. He's a good dribbler. He's strong. He defends. He does all the things that you would want from a top level attacker. He is a top 3 right winger in the world. We know who else is in that conversation. It's Wanyeri, Lamine Yamal, and Mohamed Salah. So
right wing's quite strong, to be fair.
Yeah, he's just that guy. Like he really is, and he makes us look so different. Like we just don't look the same without him. It's almost like he's our best player. That's fucking crazy. There was actually somebody on Mo's show. I love Kel. Don't get me wrong. I love Kel. She actually said that she like maybe losing Saka wasn't that big of a deal for Arsenal, and my head almost exploded.
Is that Arsenal fan?
No, Man City fan. And I was like, there's no way on God's green earth you could think that Saka wouldn't have made a difference in the 12 games that he missed. There's no way. There's no fucking way.
Fair enough, man.
Victor says top 3 right wingers is Saka, Wanyeri, and Sterling.
100%. 100%. Heavy on the Sterling.
My favorite moment was Saka out-muscling Jude. Crazy how much strength and speed this guy has. Yeah, he was really good. By the way, we need an apology from every Arsenal fan that said we should take the rest of the season off. Victor says Saka's always getting underrated. Fair enough. He's just, I don't know. Like I'm never really surprised by his performances.
Let them mashed up Real Madrid, did what he did last year against Bayern. You've seen what he's done for England. You see what he's doing year after year. You see him making up for lost time this season as well. Back like he's never left. if at this point, I'm not saying you have to say Saka is amazing and whatever, but if you don't rate Saka, you're just a liar. And as much as in the media, I want to see consistency with Arsenal and every other club and how they're spoken about. Why do we care about external validation? Because when they're coming off the social medias and YouTube and they stop chatting shit about Saka, they're going to be breading. They're going to be saying, fair enough, he's a good player because he's not flashy. And all this aesthetically pleasing stuff, nobody can watch Saka and say he's not entertaining. Yeah, he's not doing the St. Maximum 100 party tricks and not doing anything with it. It's absolute liars. Like, what the man want? The guy, if you want to watch football freestylers, just type in Billy Wingrove or something on YouTube. Like, Saka is able to do something, and he's a marked man and has been a marked man, and somehow he finds a way. Look what he did against Madrid. Fair enough, Alaba's not fully fit and this and that. People are changing their game plans. Bellingham's tucking in a lot more to try help. It's annoying, bro. It's annoying.
Not Saka could be flashy, but Mikel doesn't like that shit. You know, the moment that I knew Saka was like amazing was when they tried to kill him in the World Cup. When France tried to kill him in the World Cup,
Yeah,
I was like, they're trying to kill him. Like, they're trying to kill him. They want him dead. Like, and they felt like he was their main guy. That he was the main guy. I was watching the game and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, is he the main person? Like, they really want him out the game because they know that England can't operate without him. And I was like, he's made it. He's made it. He's the guy. Johnny says Saka is not flashy but efficient. Now you know why you studied Salah. I need to see the clip. Did you see the clip where Saka said that he's modeled his game after Mohamed Salah?
You should be modeling your game on people that have done things to Mohamed Salah's level, man, and it's the effectiveness. I think these Arsenal and Liverpool players love each other because Salah always says every now and again, he's like, I've spoken to Arsene Wenger and XYZ. You should be. You should be. Salah's done it for so many years and he's so effective. And it's one thing doing it 1 year, but Saka is doing it year after year. You should be looking at Salah and people have done what you inspire to do in the game.
That doesn't help me though, because early on in the stream with Mo, I said, ain't no young players modeling their game after Salah.
Oh,
I
don't think the part man want to be Salah, but professional footballer, yeah, you got all of it.
Oh my gosh, I was just trying to be shady and it worked against me. Manta says Saka drew both fouls for Rice's free kicks, which are basically like assists in our minds, right? Ash says the players who play on the pitch know that Saka is that guy. And I think the vision, like the narrative around Saka is completely different with people that are actually in the game and playing it versus just rivals chatting shit. Like, come on, you know, everybody loves him.
For triggers, man. You know, you get at Saka, we defend him like he's our son and whatnot.
Jordan says, yeah, the last Euros was Saka's announcement to the world. Even my aunt who doesn't watch football like that saw the game and said, who's that guy? Saka, he's good. I just smiled like I ate cake. Exactly. He's so good. So let's talk about probably if you would have told me that Merino would be scoring goals for us at center forward at the beginning of the season, I'd be like, what? But Merino, the goal is going underrated. We're not really talking about it as much because Rice's free kicks, but that goal was like peak Arteta ball. Talk to me a little bit about Merino's performance overall and what he's brought to the team in a moment where we're really needing somebody to step up.
We need several players to step up, and several players has. And Marino's been in a real sweet spot. Obviously, in an ideal world, we wouldn't have wanted him to play up front, but he has. He's been doing it well. His general game and general performance has been well. He's been getting the goals. He looks a lot more confident. I can't say I predicted everyone to be this good against Madrid and win 3-0, but it's kind of on brand in what we've been doing in that he's been performing very well and he deserves it, man. You could see he's getting more confident. I do think he was a bit shy and played within himself initially and had a lot of injuries. And I guess it's even more special for him because he's just joined Arsenal this season, because it's a Spanish team. And he's obviously, I think he's got 4 goals now against Madrid. Happy for Merino, man. Again, I do want a striker, but in terms of all the other facilitative kind of things Arteta wants away from being a traditional striker, he does it. He's scored many goals in the little passage he's been up front. But he's a good finisher, man. Like you said on my platform, the goal he scored obviously against Madrid was good. Shout out Lewis Kelly for that one. I still think his best finish was the Leicester finish. Obviously, we know he's good in the air and he's chipped in with a couple of headers. Shout out to him, man. Keep it up, Merino, man. You deserve it.
I love his little celebration sidebar. I think
it might be the best out of all these players, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's clear. I like it. I just like Merino's whole shtick. He's like the old man in the group kind of thing, and he's like the grown up in there, can kind of do anything, you know. And he's doing the Trossard type job. You know, Trossard last season played in different positions, you know, came up with big goals, and you need that from everybody. And so I'm loving him right now. And I think we needed this because I think Merino got an unfair shake at the beginning of the season. I
100%.
think it was just like everybody that came in that window was like enemy number one. And I get the Sterling thing because
No, we
Sterling
don't
wasn't
get the
being
Sterling thing.
imagined. No, I mean, Sterling, it's just an unfortunate situation. But
Next week.
I don't think Merino. That would be crazy if Sterling scored an important goal for us.
What did you say? You said Sterling would score. Wow, is that what you hope for?
That would be crazy.
Is that what you hope for?
Highly unlikely.
I mean, it was unlikely we would win 3-0. It was unlikely Lewis Skelly would be playing against Real Madrid in August. Unlikely things are there to happen.
If that's what you need, then I hope you get that. You know.
Do you think he'll back? Do you think he'll back at the Bernabeu? I'm sure he scored there before. Okay.
I don't even know if Arteta will risk it. He might put Tierney out there or something. No, but Merino, I just think just came in with the group because nobody really was excited about the summer window after it closed. And I think everybody kind of had like a negative thing on them, including Calafiori and Merino, even though we had never really seen them before. They didn't get a clean shake. He struggled to get up to the speed. He got injured right away kind of thing. But this has been a great little run of...
The thinking man's footballer, I feel, Merino.
He's a what?
A thinking man's footballer. Like he's not mad fast. He's not going to do mad nutmegs. You know, obviously he's technically proficient, but I think it's very unlikely he plays some great defensively splitting pass and it's a madness. But throughout the 90 minutes, he just gets it, man. And he really just gets it. Very intelligent footballer. Spanish guy. It makes sense. Big him up.
Absolutely.
Cool for the squad.
Demore says, imagine we signed Merino in January as a striker. Everyone would be bigging him up now. Yeah, I think two things can be true at the same time. That you can give Arteta a lot of credit for using Merino and it working out, but there's a bigger conversation to ask if we don't finish where we want to and we don't win this trophy, what we have been like this season if we had actually bought a striker. So, and that's the whole thing with Mikel. He's done so well to keep us in second, but the decisions of the club have a second, so it's like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to give credit and credit is due, but not go too far because we shouldn't really be in a situation at this stage in the season where Merino is starting as our center forward.
Yeah, it's romantic, but when you step back from the situation of, Merino playing up front and the circumstances that led here, we just look at general competencies as a football club. But Mikel Arteta, anyone that makes a decision, you kind of don't want to be in circumstances like this because there is an alternative world where thankfully it's not that, but the same run of games that Merino's been playing up front, he struggles. And while everyone a bit of in jest and joking around like it's a masterclass from Arteta, there'd be serious conversations about his quote unquote incompetence, etc. Now, one thing I rate about Merino as well is he just got on with it. Like you can see when somebody is not necessarily comfortable, but you're trying your best in that role, which you're not a striker. Who knows, man? God forbid. But if something happens with Lewis Skelly, maybe Merino could play inverted left back. I'm getting infected by the Arteta disease. Still, I'm getting excited.
My head would be on Pluto, man.
Low block, we could do it.
Oh my gosh, we'll talk about that.
No. I mean, you said you want to write off the Brentford game if Merino plays. Can you do it there?
No. Sadiq says Merino was marked by Rudiger. If you watch back the goal, Merino pulls Rudiger with him by running forward. Then he stops, runs back, asking for the ball. Rudiger loses him. Then Merino scores. This is not the first time that Merino has scored a goal on Rudiger's head top. So yeah, remember the game Spain versus Germany in the Euros? Yeah, if you know, you know.
Guy Merino, man, add the Champions League to your cabinet with the Euros, man.
Exactly. We covered this on Deludus channel. So apparently Berta is planning a recruitment shakeup. Jay Mellis is set to leave. Thank you. Please and thank you. Get him out of here. Jordan says the way Berta put his hand on Arteta after the game made me almost tear up. He was so impressed. I really hope Berta's world-class experience can help shape Arteta to be world-class. The one thing I will say is that once you get here, I think you just fall in love with the place. You fall in love with Arsenal. You fall in love with the players. You fall in love with everything. Everybody that's joined Arsenal since Arteta's been here has fallen into some sort of like, they just fall. You know, they
Because you
just
found the
fall.
family, like I don't want to say
Yeah.
away from Arsenal, but you've bought into what we're trying to do. And for Berta, he might just love the fact that him being an Atletico man,
Yeah.
they've done what they need to do against Madrid, man. But Berta, come and shake the room, man. Again, if people need to leave, they need to leave. We all know the contracts that need to be brought in. We all know the evident areas that need to be addressed. I don't know if Berta was involved directly because I'm not a fly on the wall, but we did hear Mikel Arteta when he signed his new deal last summer say, "Oh, we want to get the board, like my board member sorted." Berta's been here 2 minutes, getting linked with Gyökeres, and obviously we've seen today about that with James Ellis, and also subsequently, like all of Mikel Arteta's staff have all signed new deals. So let's get back to business, man. Let's push now, man. See what we could do.
100%. And I think we're all we understand that, the
Facts.
pipeline from failed left-sided center mid to striker pipeline. We get it. It doesn't erase
Seen it before.
anything. But ultimately, at this stage in the season, having somebody that you can put up front against Real Madrid that actually scores a goal, you got to at least big it up a little bit, right? Mata says, Merino turns slower than my grandma. Jeff's best quote. He does. He turns very, very slow. Johnny says, let me ask you what. If you could only have one striker at the club and your choices would be Havertz and Merino, who would you choose? I, for one, would go with Merino's wife if I can't get the man. What do you think?
How did it get there towards the end? Flipping up. Recency bias. Merino is obviously better than Kai Havertz on the ball and is a different type of midfielder, but I'm gonna say Kai Havertz, man. At least I've seen Kai Havertz do it for longer in an Arsenal shirt. To be fair, it's not as pretty and whatnot, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Kai. But Marino's a cleaner finisher. Like I don't think Kai Havertz scores that goal Merino scored against Leicester with his right peg. I'm gonna go Kai though, but yeah, I think I either one. These are the questions we need to move away from so we can have a gunman striker. Yeah, it's dark. Dark conversation to have.
Yeah, Justin J says Arsenal ravishing Berta's arch nemesis gave him fire in his belly. Let's not talk about fire in the belly. That's a dangerous topic around here.
No, Lewis Kelly's got fire in his belly. Timber's got fire in his belly. There's always a new agenda.
Jesus had fire in his belly, and it turned out
he did, and then he got injured. Are you gonna laugh at a man for trying? Life was cruel to him. Life was cruel to him. We'll never know what could have happened. And you know what he did last year against Bayern Munich? He could have helped us. Pep Guardiola played him left back at the Bernabeu. I'm not saying to drop Lewis Kelly. I'm saying that could have been an option. We'll never know. Jesus might have went on to score a lot of goals. We'll never know. Football's cruel.
Yeah, we don't know. Mata says Kai is back in the gym. I think I did see something like maybe at the end of the season he might be able to, play a little bit. So
whatever we did with Saka's rehab, Kai, get on that hamstring surgery, hamstring rehabilitation thing, and let's go, Kai, man.
100%. Sandwich says Arsenal.
Sandwich,
Sasquatch or Gyökeres really. Sesko or Gyökeres. I mean, we'll get there.
We skipping past. I'm seeing 1-2 comments about certain man.
What comment?
We got Jordan Davis.
Martinelli flowers are needed to perform like that against Madrid. He even protected Skelly from being isolated and allowed him to roam. He's winning me back, but need to see more. So you guys are easily brought back. So let's not get a left winger then.
How? We never said all he said was how. All he said was he worked hard. He had a good performance, which he did.
Back.
Right, people, can I ask you a question before Jess gets involved? Yeah, can I ask you one question? Yeah, and football's a funny old game of opinions, all that stuff. Who played better? Yeah, Martin Odegaard or Gabby Martinelli? Yes, we won in that, but who impressed you a lot more against Real Madrid? Please, just let this. Please,
the bar is low.
Please, the bar is low for certain captains. I just want to know. The bar is low. We're talking about Merino and Havertz up front. Big them up. The bar's low. The bar's in hell. We know this. I just want to know, people.
Go ahead.
I just want to know. Bring up their comments. Keep the comments. Smash the like button. Keep the comments coming, folks. Everyone's allowed their opinion. There's no rights and wrongs. Look at you. You're shameless. Yeah, actually very shameless.
No, I'm clicking all of them. A lot of people said Martinelli. Martinelli did a lot more than Odegaard. I didn't see Martinelli.
Bring up all the comments. Interactive stream. Let everyone feel a part of this.
Okay, I didn't. What is this comment? That's horrible. Martinelli been making the runs. Kivior.
Big up, Neil. There's always one.
Saka and Nelly was unplayable. Martinelli by far. Okay, so you win this one.
There's no winning and losing, Jess. Why are you competing with me? We're competing to win the Champions League. We're just listening to people's thoughts.
You asked.
I'm not. What did we think of Odegaard, folks? Bearing in mind, you lot know I call him the class Weasian, so I'm an Odegaard fan.
Johnny D says Martinelli has had a good April. If he continues to have the good end of the season, that's all we need. Martinelli had no contest, 7 out of 10. Odegaard was a 6 out of 10 at best. That's fair enough. You know, I accept that. It's about time.
Yeah, you didn't. You said Odegaard was better than Martinelli, which you can believe that.
I don't think Martinelli was as good as you guys are saying, but I think it's also just the gas of the game.
People are playing favorites.
He's a ex Real Madrid, maybe mold. Oh my god,
that's harsh on Odegaard.
That's harsh, but yeah. Anyways,
he just needs his own little, maybe not Declan Rice moment, but I feel I do feel on one hand Odegaard's season's a write-off, but I do feel Odegaard needs one of those. Like, you see how Merino's been finding his goals. Rice has scored a screamer. I think he needs one of those kind of things. And it wouldn't, obviously I'm exaggerating, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does that against Brentford. And regardless of how the Real Madrid game goes, he plays significantly better for people. He needs one of that, in my opinion. But he doesn't look like he's down on confidence. I just don't think you're playing as well as you can with the ball. You're doing all the stuff Arteta wants. But yeah, man, it's tired.
Jordan says, wow, Jess Valverde was getting cooked and he's been good at right back. I don't know.
She plays favorites. You know them people there, like they're not watching for the love. You know, can I wait, can I share my screen? I forgot to mention this as well. Can I share my screen? Can I present?
I think so.
Can I show that? Where is it?
I don't know. Whatever you want to show, go ahead.
Wait, how do I get it up? Where's the snipping tool? Because I was creating a thumbnail. And something very, very interesting came up, Jess. Can I share it? You got to bring it in.
Oh, I don't want to see this. No, you're not going to be able to show that. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Anchor says is a build-up player now. You're out of control. He's trying to show.
I forgot to bring that up on my stream.
Why are you bringing that up? Oh my gosh!
Because I thought you were gonna try and cook me. I thought, you know what? If I get cooked too much, I need to have an ace in my deck just to get some of the banter back on you.
That's horrendous. Oh my god!
Show them it's not that deep, man. Come on, man. It's not that deep. It's a joke. Show them. They want to see. Smash the like button.
These comments, man. Let me get to these comments.
How many likes we got? If we get 100 likes or something, you should be able to share it, man. Come on, man.
Serious. Okay, hold on. Victor says, Jess, you missed on this one. Odegaard has been cold, but this season he's been below par. Martinelli wasn't amazing, and I hate to use the hard work gimmick, but he helped a lot with the left side. And I think that's the thing. It's like he's saying pretty much what I'm saying. He wasn't amazing. And
Odegaard wasn't amazing. Odegaard worked hard.
You know what? And that's fair. But whataboutism doesn't really
Why are you attacking me so much? Why do you get so pressed for that? Bear in mind, we're both Odegaard fans. But you love Odegaard, didn't you?
No, your thing is always, oh, but what about so-and-so? Just because
we're both Odegaard fans, right?
Was great.
Any Odegaard chat, you're bare defensive, like you've got the gun ready to shoot me. Like
I've been fighting his corner this whole time, and I will continue to, because I'm seeing people that have really backed him turn next season. If he comes back and he's good, I don't want to hear it. Stay on that side, please. Saying Odegaard is a passenger is a bit harsh, but the movie Passengers
harsh.
Justin J says Odegaard taking our set pieces for the last 4 years nearly made me shed a tear after Rice's goals. Yeah, I mean, Odegaard was the last person to score one, but I think that the fact that Jover was saying, because this is a fake quote going around, you guys. Odegaard did not say, and Declan did not say, Odegaard said to cross it. Somebody put that out there for no reason. Jover said to cross it. If Jover knows that Declan Rice is this great free kick taker, why is he telling him to cross it? It's because nobody really knew that he had that in him. I think that's just the truth of it, you guys. So I don't think Odegaard's been taking the free kicks and Declan's been so good at them. Declan has also taken free kicks for Arsenal since before today. So I don't know why it's like all this, like he was stealing the ball from Declan, knowing that Declan can do all this. Like, relax.
Yeah, let Declan start taking them. Odegaard, don't worry, corners is all you, G.
Terrence says he did. It was on Amazon. I listened to the quote. He said Jover. And they
Either
showed
way, it worked 9 times out of 10. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Rice clots that into the stands, it's dead. 9 times out of 10, you listen to you don't listen to Hovar, and it doesn't work. But again, in games like that, where it's a magical Champions League night, and Mikel Arteta has coached the masterclass, the players are, acting out that masterclass. We won the game kind of on points and all that theoretical stuff, but you need stuff that goes off script, in which Rice was feeling it. Really, it was a movie. He thought, you know what, fuck it, let me try wallop this lad, and he did it again, and then he did it again. Like flipping hell, Declan Rice. I'm still processing that.
That's crazy. Marco says Kivior, Jorginho, and Sterling are the only players that lost me. I'm backing everyone else. What Jorginho do?
Yeah, Uncle ain't done that. Even his reaction.
I don't get it. Let's see. Victor says Declan has missed a lot, to be fair, so I get why you told him to cross. I mean, I just think it's a good moment, and we don't really need to be negative about anything. But for some reason, this fan base is like very addicted to negativity. Terrence says, I'm gonna watch it again. Watch it. They showed Yover on the thing. They were talking about Yover, not Odegaard. Y'all made that up. Marco says Jorginho is not on our level. I think that's harsh. Sorry. Like
he's gone in the summer anyways, but Jorginho's calm, man. We need level raisers, but for his little role that he's played in the squad, he's done okay.
Yeah. Johnny says, you're right, Jess. That's why Rice is world-class. Those players get going in the games more than on training the pitch. Odegaard is in reverse, sadly enough. Listen, if you guys don't think Odegaard is a good player anymore, that's fair enough.
That's like us. Nobody said that.
I think it's true. People are saying that those players get going in games more than on the training pitch. Odegaard is in reverse. I don't get it.
Who said? He didn't diss Odegaard. Nobody said Odegaard.
Listen, I'm gonna stand by him. I think this is totally harsh.
Pretty privilege.
It's not pretty privilege. It's not pretty privilege. Anchor says Zubimindi can't replace both Partey and Georgie. Need one more midfielder.
I hear that.
Honestly, I don't think we need another DM though. I think, to be honest, like to replace Partey and Jorginho with 2 DMs, I think is overkill. So even if we do get another midfielder, it shouldn't be another DM. Zubimindi and Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly is more than enough DMs. Sorry. Marino can also play there.
Arteta sees him, and like when obviously Lewis-Skelly, Wanjeri, Odegaard in that 8, we can make up theoretical midfielders, but I would say it's one of them you'd love to speak with Mikel Arteta and say, do you genuinely see Lewis-Skelly getting proper game time in midfield? I don't know, because again, we know Arteta's quite peculiar. Does that mean Declan Rice moves over to the right hand side in the 8? Lewis-Skelly comes in, and what does them things mean for our team moving forward? I do think I need to see that on occasion from Mikel Arteta, just different kind of midfield partnerships or trios or whatever, just on them 3, 4, 5 games this season, especially in the Premier League, that make our season when we look back in hindsight, like defeats that could have been draws that could have been wins, just a bit of a mix-up and an alternative every now and again.
100%. MLS and Wanjeri are midfielders, need a left back. It's just I just wonder if Arteta's gonna.
She doesn't want Hato, boy, because I know you're one of my boys, a Hato fan like myself. She doesn't want him. But ask her about that Hodgson guy at Bournemouth who's a baller. Her eyes lighted up in the last tube, lighted up.
I don't want Hato because MLS is good enough. Like,
but he can play. He's a centre half.
What do you mean? We have Calafiori as well. Like, what do we need another left back?
And they can both play left back. Lewis-Skelly can go in midfield. They can mix and blend.
Buying in the same position over and over again.
It's not. We just want wavy icy freeze. It's cool. Either one of them is welcome. I'd love both, but dreaming.
No, I don't. I don't think if we have to get him, then we get him. But I'd rather get Hodgson.
It's a color thing.
No, it's not a color thing. I just sat here and said Timber and MLS are the best in the league, and you're talking about a color thing.
Yeah, they're like Saka. They're one of the good ones for you. They don't do anything.
They're not. Marco says we're getting a versatile defender anyway.
Hopefully.
Google says MLS should be a midfield pivot with Rice. I really hope that we get to see him in midfield. I just don't, Arteta, once he puts you in a position, that's kind of where you're at. So
he's basically a midfield anyways.
Yeah. Jordan says they wanted to cross it. Then Rice brought up the 4th-man wall, and Saka said, if you feel it, take. Boy says she's saying what? Hoisin, that Chinese sauce? Hoisin! Jordan says Skelly is strong as fuck. There was a moment I saw him out muscle 3 players and still barging through. He's like deceptively strong. He's not small, at all, but he's not like a huge player. So like he just bounces off of players. I love it. Justin J says a pod of Gabriel Hato MLS Kala is pretty privileged. I mean, yeah, we're gonna get a defender, so we'll see which one we get.
And some
But
goalies.
yeah, and some
What
goalies.
we do.
That's for sure, 100%. So, how do you approach the Real Madrid game, the next one, and Brentford? What are you doing?
Okay, well, skipping forward to Real Madrid because that's going to be the dominated one. Speaking of that, can we show the people them the thing? We want attackers. Can we show the people them the thing? It's just a bit of banter.
Show what?
What you won't let me share?
No, I don't want to see that. Why are you taking pictures from my Instagram where I was paid to wear different
That's why
kits?
That's why it's banter,
Real
man.
Madrid kit. And I
Because
love that Real Madrid kit.
I thought I was stepping in here. I thought I was gonna step in here, and there was hella sins to address. I thought you was gonna go, oh my god, Kivio. You showed me a lot more mercy than I would. If I had my time, you're a better person than me. But
I am a better person. I'm nice. I don't do anything
that
wrong.
regards, in that regards, is it a color thing? But anyways, you see. But anyways, Real Madrid, honestly, from a psychological point of view and all of that kind of jazz. I know we're playing in Spain and what the Bernabeu is and the context of what they're playing. And you said it eloquently on my stream about how their season's been. It's different contexts, but same thing, man. Like we know we can be a bit comfortable because we're 3 goals up. But at the end of the day, just don't be silly in it. Just go there, manage the game well. I personally think we need another goal. Just do what you did in the last fixture. Literally that. Just do what you did. Obviously, try and be a bit better. If we get those half chances like with Saka, take those opportunities. Try and not have those quote unquote nervy moments where maybe they could have done better, or Mbappe, or I'm for sure Vinicius as well could have done better. But yeah, in relation to Brentford, it's a double-edged sword, ain't it? Just because you can make changes, but then who is there to change? Like you need a squad for that. So Raya, I think it's an opportunity to give Ben White some minutes.
Yep.
Kivio, I think you can keep your little momentum going.
Saliba's
Unless I'm forgetting the centre half, Saliba's gonna have to. I'd like to see Tierney instead of Lewis Skelly. I mean, it'd be nice to see Lewis Skelly rested. Right wing Wanyeri.
Yeah.
Depends on Moreno's fitness, but maybe potentially him up front. Left wing, probably Dash Sterling, to be fair. So that leaves midfield. I don't want to see Partey. Need your legs saved. Rice will probably play. I reckon Rice, Odegaard, Jorginho. You know, I think that's what he'll do.
It can't be Rice, Odegaard, Jorginho.
You're forgetting Everton. Odegaard got a little rest. I think he'll run that. Rice.
No, I think Odegaard will play. It just Rice needs to sit out.
I don't think he will though, man. Like I just think Rice's quick recovery rate, all of that kind of stuff. He did come off with a knock, so I guess it all depends on that. Could even put Merino centre mid and just I don't know whether it's Wanyeri, Martinelli, whatever have you up front. But Merino's just in a good patch of form. I think they'll just continue with him in that role.
What if you play? What if you do? Because you got some other players that you can use. You can play Sterling, Wanyeri, and Merino up front, and then you can play Trossard, Odegaard, and Jorginho in midfield. And then because you gotta rest Rice if he's injured in any way, shape, or form. We have no
overrun too much. No, Rice is a soldier, man. He played with a broken toe. He's calm, man. He can do that. He can do that, man. He'll be all right, man. Just give me 45 to 60 minutes, and we're good.
All right, well, fine.
And even these men on the bench, like some of them are gonna have to come off that bench, a bit like what we did against Everton. I think Saka's gonna play more minutes than I expect, but I'll take do your thing, innit?
Yeah. Well, somebody's gonna have to play, and we just don't have a lot of options right now. So Marco says, why not go Wanyeri in the 10, Sterling right wing, Tierney left wing, Trossard up top. I think that's a little much. Tierney left wing, Sterling right wing, Trossard up top, Wanyeri in the 10. Unless you just are desperate to arrest Odegaard for some reason, but I think Odegaard.
A lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot. But no, I hear that. Krugel says Zinni, Jorginho, Trossard midfield. That's fucking wild. Where is Zinchenko?
On the bench.
I mean, Arteta's using Tierney a lot more. They do. That's crazy. You know, like I know that Zinni is going to go as well, but he's dropped off so far that like the last time that I saw him play was when
PSV, innit?
yeah, like PSV starting in the 10 when we were 7-1 up.
Zinchenko, I must have seen you after that.
Did he come out on when we were chasing the game against who got the penalty against
This is
us?
what I want to say. I kind of think I've seen you after that. Zinny.
Like what?
No, he's only played 10 times in the Premier League.
That to me, for somebody to go from an
It's mad.
an integral piece to not even getting minutes over Tierney is
The last time you saw him in the
crazy
Prem
fall
was
from
the
grace.
draw against Forest.
That is probably the swiftest and harshest fall from grace I've ever seen anybody have in an Arsenal shirt. Maybe Ramsdale worse. Ramsdale and Zinchenko, I've never seen Mikel turn on a player.
Nah, Zinni's is worse because at least you've gone out to a Premier League goalkeeper in David Raya. You're getting benched by Lewis Skelly. Right now, Lewis Skelly's doing mad stuff, but we go back to the Liverpool kind of time around like the Liverpool City first games of the season. You got rubbed out from then, and you were the poster boy. I think his fall from grace is deeper than Ramsdale's.
I mean, that is fucking insane to me.
Just shows football moves on very quickly in this thing.
Sorry, Inner Circle. I'm seeing a lot of comments. I'm sorry. I saw you saying something about which would be better, PSG or Villa. A better matchup. What do you well, I know what you said last time, but we'll say it again so you can sound double crazy. Go on.
I'd rather play Villa, but I think PSG versus Arsenal will be a decent one. I think Enrique and Arteta are quite similar. I think both teams will have space. I think they're in a different moment and the contexts are different, but we kind of know them. I'd rather play Villa because I want to dump Emre out. You know, the game's the game. It feel like revenge after Villarreal. But yeah, man, PSG versus Arsenal for the neutral is probably the more entertaining one.
Is this your king, guys? Is this the one you're gonna follow? Deluded. He wants Villa of all things. This is your king. Okay.
I'm not scared of playing no one. It's the Champions League. I want Villa for my own personal reasons.
You want to get the leg back.
Exactly. And why am I scared of Villa or PSG? Why am I scared of Villa? Like, oh my God, Emery hates us. So we beat them in the Prem last season, at the first half of last season. We were 2-0 up and we shot ourselves in the foot. Come on, man. I saw a bit of stage fright with Aston Villa. I know they're playing a fellow Premier League side and whatnot, but
they don't get
newcomers like us.
We are their cup final. We're the only game that they give a fuck about.
So let's be their cup final too.
Sick of them. I'm so sorry, but there's just
Emery will overcomplicate that just like last night.
I feel like the other thing though is just like I think I was saying this on my post-match. I don't think we play good against teams with physical running midfields. And Aston Villa definitely has a lot of runners.
Yeah, they got better.
That's just not our cup of tea. I'd rather us go up against a more technical midfield. I think we have a better chance, even if the level of player is higher. João Neves and Vitinha, those are quality players, but I just think Partey and Odegaard and players like that will do better with more stationary players than guys that are trying to run past them. But that's just me, you know. But Marco says Disasi came on. That was
he set him up for failure yesterday.
Actual disaster. That is the funny. Like he got cooked
straight away as well. Like straight as soon as you come on the pitch, it's time to get ripped.
Yeah,
football can be harsh, man.
It was just crazy. Foxy says Villa will most likely have a cup final, FA Cup. I mean, I just don't. I don't fancy it. Ron says I don't want Inter or going to penalties. No penalties for us. Jordan says after what Rodgers did to our midfield last time, I'm not trying to see that in the semis. Yeah, it's gonna be a no. It's gonna be a no for me. Boston says I can't stand Villa low block. I want PSG. How do you think our fullbacks would fare against the likes of Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha? I mean, that's a different. You could say like obviously we're going up against Vinny and Mbappe, but I still feel like on the form that those players are in, that's a different level than what we've been going up against. That's a real test for Timber and MLS, yeah.
Like you said yourself there, man, it's a big test, but you should be filled with confidence. For whatever reason, you've shown you can cope with Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo on the pitch. The dynamics are different, but you should have all the faith that you can compete against Lewandowski, Yalmao, Rafinha, which granted equally scares me on paper as Madrid. But just do whatever, man. Timber, do what you're doing. Lewis Kelly, do what you're doing. Kivio, are we gonna announce ourselves to the world a bit more now? Hopefully, Saliba. If
Add
you
a
really
couple
do
of
go to Madrid,
dollars.
keep going. Huh?
Yeah, give your add a couple of dollars to your price tag, man. You know.
He might, you never know. He might stay. Arteta might be reminded why he bought him initially.
Terrence says, okay. Coach said, whip it. Odegaard said, we're going to cross the back post. Saka said, if you're feeling it, go for it, meaning try to score. I watched the interview. He didn't mention Odegaard. Thanks. Brando said, do you guys believe the myth of Real Madrid and the Bernabeu? Do you?
Yeah, it's Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid. But at the same time, go out there. The myth has nothing to do with you playing competently. Like Real Madrid have lost games in the Bernabeu before. Just do what you did in the first leg. Relish it. Be sensible defensively. Take your chances. And hopefully, if the judge is not strong, we're advancing to the semi-finals where we can have an in-depth conversation about PSG and Aston Villa. But we can't go over there and believe the hype. Same way, as good as Real Madrid are, we didn't believe the hype at the Emirates. Like, oh my God, their players are great, 15-time winners. You start doing that and over-respecting them, you don't get what we got. So just do what we did in the first leg. Approach it the same way.
Yeah, we just have to not concede in those first 20 minutes, I think. They need to get rattled in some way. And I think not scoring in those first 20 minutes is going to be key for that. They're already rattled. You can already see that they're saying we need our team, we need our people behind us, but they're fully rattled. They're having a strange season. So
exactly
the best thing we can do is add to that by being very hard to break down and also showing that we can still hit them and maybe score a goal. So it's going to be key for us not to get too wrapped up in trying to keep them out, but staying strong and all that kind of stuff. I'm really excited for it because whether we win or lose, we'll know where we're at, and we'll only know where we are until we play the best of the best. And I still feel like people are underplaying Real Madrid quite a bit. They're having a poor season, but make no mistake about it, those are world-class players they had out there, and we stood up. So
exactly.
Eric says, yeah, Def don't want Barca to win anything. Plus, they have got refs on the side in the champs. Listen, Barcelona, the crimes you have committed, you should be in jail. You should be locked up for good.
Be nice to play them in the final.
Yeah, but I would take them in the final. I don't particularly fancy us against Inter. Jordan says one of the things that are quite unique about Timber and MLS, they kind of play with their hips. Pause. They're very shifty and can recover well if the attacker changes pace or direction. You mean they're athletic? Yeah.
I ain't got no opinions on their hips.
I mean, they were talking. I saw in the comments earlier talking about putting bums on people.
I hear it, but
Brown says,
actually something Lewis Kelly Pause does very well. So he's right.
Brown says, thank you for bodying CFC Don again. By the way, Jess, it's just funny. It's just funny. I actually like Don quite a bit. He's funny.
Yeah, big
Johnny says, let's face it, Villa have a slimmer chance to qualify than Real Madrid 100%. Low center of gravity. And Brando says, personally, I believe it's possible, but improbable. The chances of a comeback is about 10% historically. So, yeah, it can happen, but we just need to do what we need to do. We just need to be – now that we can put in a performance like this, I just feel like if we go back or we capitulate or something, that would be really, really damaging. So we have to do everything.
No comebacks, man.
Yeah.
No comebacks.
Yeah, make it kind of like a formality, but I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud after the game. I'm still feeling like I'm on cloud 9. And
I understand why you'd say that, man. See Martinelli play very well down that left field. Do that to you.
Go ahead. If you think Martinelli played amazing, okay. Victor says it's fact, though. Yaya Torre said it himself. Glute
it is
the most important. It helps you deal with the I'm just immature. I'm sorry. Foxy says, what was Don saying? Good guy he is, but he doesn't have a great no. I just think he just loves Chelsea and he sees it with his Chelsea tinted glasses. Gunnarola says, breaking, Edu just posted on IG to officially confirm his gardening leave is up. Oh, so honestly, have fun, buddy. We're in the Brita era.
He's ready to work now.
Yeah, have fun. I don't give a fuck. You know, we're in
Yeah,
a totally different era now. You know, you know, like I love
yeah.
it. Boy says these men couldn't talk mechanics last night, but they can talk glutes today. I'm fucking dead, you guys. It's fucking crazy. Any final words, final thoughts, any final bigging up, hyping up for anybody before we get out of here?
Shout out to Kivio, because some of us can say when players were not necessarily keen on do well. Declan Rice is world class, Saka is world class, Miles Lewis Skelly is absolutely mustard, and so is Yuri and Timber. And let's bring it home, innit? I didn't want to dream. You lot have made me dream. Let's go out there and make it reality.
Oof. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I understand if you're upset that Madrid went out. I know it means a lot to you, but they're going out. But
Oh my
fair.
god. You show them the video then, because it's
It's
just so,
calm, man. No, it's
it's
calm.
so
It's calm.
important to your life.
It's not important. I just
No,
want to know
it's
what.
your entire
Because
life.
when I say something, because when I say something, it comes from a place of love. I want also. I don't know what people are playing both sides. You share it.
You
You want to play
literally
both
went
sides.
on Instagram and saved a video to try to hurt
I
me.
didn't save it. I screenshotted it
That's
as I
me.
was making a thumbnail for
Oh,
today. I
you
thought,
put it up. See, he was like, no, but then put it up.
big up
That's
her.
what
Like
we
she's
need to
been a
show
Real Madrid
y'all.
fan her whole life. It's cool. I want to buy a Munich shirt, but yeah, man, I ain't never been Los Blancos. You got a Barcelona kit by any chance?
I don't.
It's all right, man. It's all right, man. When you get an England kit, it's coming home next year.
I have an England kid actually.
Brazil?
Yeah, I have 3 of those.
You're a Brazil fan? Okay, the beef is dead. The beef is dead. The beef is dead for now.
You're a Jamaica fan.
Of course I am. Are you an American fan?
Yeah, U.S. women. Yeah.
What's there to be a fan of? You see what Pochettino's bringing to the table. You're not getting bought by me.
You need help.
We'll let you lot need help. You got Pochettino.
Look,
Do you want to win a trophy?
nah, that's calm. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course, there's nothing.
Exactly.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with it.
He
But I
tried to
just
hurt
wanted,
me.
I didn't. I just wanted. I just wanted to know how you feel because you must be very conflicted. You know, seeing Real Madrid and Arsenal.
No, because come on, he tried to hurt me, man.
I didn't try to hurt you. I just wanted to show the world like no one understands Real Madrid more than you. Maybe you gave Mikel Arteta the tactical nous.
It's so nice. It's so nice. Here, I have it. It's right here. You guys are haters, man. Look.
Well, she ran and gone to get people.
Look. You're telling me you wouldn't wear this. Hold on. You telling me you wouldn't wear this?
Yeah, no, I was joking. The Real Madrid kit's cold. It's cold.
Like, come on.
But I rate it. Yeah, I rate it. I rate it. Big up you for being a Madrid fan, man. Odegaard derby, it must mean a lot.
Oh my gosh, it does mean a lot to me. This is my this is my everything, of course. But yeah, guys, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel on your way out. Make sure you guys go watch the show that we did on Deluded channel as well. We talked about kind of the same things but different. He was just as mean there as he was here, if not more mean. So
mean.
He tried to hurt me so bad. Like
mean. What did I say that was mean? Shut up, man. That was not me to you.
Yeah, it was.
You're actually a grade A gaslighter, you know. You actually, I'm gonna start calling you Kai Havertz. You actually know how to win free kicks.
Listen,
very good at them.
One thing about me is I know what my game is. Gaslighting and talking shit is what I love. So yes, this is me. But yeah, make sure that you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and
look up, boy. This guy's silly, but go on, just.
And make sure you guys watch the show, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.